What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This is one of the best and biggest comebacks I've seen as a New York Giants fan. I am completely, I'm not shocked, but I'm so proud and I'm so happy that this team came back and did their thing. What a game, first off. This team came out here. This team came out here and got beat down. They got beat down. The offense came out there. They had a decent looking drive to kind of start off, and then they just came out and was like, "We're not going to go for it on 4th and 2," which I thought they probably should have done because, as I've stated all week, and as I stated throughout this game, is the Giants had a mental block going on. They just could not get out of their own way. They felt like they were losers. They felt like they couldn't score. They felt like they couldn't stop anybody. They just didn't have. They just didn't have it. They did not have the confidence in themselves that they could go out there and play football at a high level. And as you see Josh Dobbs, you know, dotting us up and running down the field, and you see us getting not being able to do things on offense, it just reaffirmed their belief that they weren't a good team. And we just watched this happen. We watched this happen, and people were saying we were going to get the first overall pick. People were saying all those things, which I don't blame people. I don't blame people, but I said in this stream that I'm still streaming right now, I said in this stream and I said, listen, I'm not giving up on this team in this game until we come out here and it's the fourth quarter and we're still down 28-0 or 30-0. Because we are a much better team than the Cardinals, which is why I'm not jumping up and down right now. I was jumping up and down when we scored the touchdowns to win the game. But this is why I'm not completely out of hand, because we're a much better team than the Cardinals, top to bottom. Top to bottom, we're a much better team on the defensive line, on the offensive line, even. And if you look at how this game played out, if you take a look at how this game played out, guys, the backup offensive line of the Giants, no Andrew Thomas and Marcus McKeithen in there, and then Ben Bredesen getting hurt and Glowinski having to play left guard who got benched last week, there was no pressure on Daniel Jones. No pressure. No pressure. He got to take shots down the field for the first time in a long time. There was no pressure on Daniel Jones. So this is to be expected of your $40+ million quarterback, that if you don't pressure him, he carves you up. He scores every single time. And that's what happened. Now, our defense, atrocious the first half. Probably the first 3 quarters, atrocious. Not good. We got to figure that out going into next week, because if we play like this defensively, and if we play like this defensively going into San Francisco, we're going to get rolled. But first off, let me give a shout out to Daniel Jones, who I've just seen so much people doubt. Yes, he had his misses. He missed Darius Slayton on that deep route. He even kind of underthrew Jalen Hyatt on that deep route in the middle of the field where he caught it. He could have probably ran that in for a touchdown. But Daniel Jones showed up. He didn't show up in the first half. Nobody did. Nobody showed up in the first half. But Daniel Jones showed up in that second half. 31 points in the second half from the Giants. 8 points allowed. You realize, guys, in the first 6 quarters of the Giants season, we gave up. We lost 60-0. Going back to the Eagles game, we lost like 100 and something to 7. So I'm just really happy that we was able to make this comeback. Now, as far as how the entire team looked, Waller finally got involved. He did some things. I'll get to Barkley in a second, because we saw him get hurt and the worst time in the game to get hurt, man. Like the end of the game, pretty much. We pretty much were in field goal range, and he helped get us there. But that just stinks for him. But I'll get to him in a second. Shout out to Jalen Hyatt for showing up on that deep route there where he should have had a touchdown, and then showing up on that crosser where he went out and high pointed that football, didn't wait for it to get to him like a lot of Giants receivers in the past couple years. He actually went up, high pointed that ball, brought it down with 2 hands. Hyatt really showed up today. Evan Neal, and I'm seeing some people in my chat talk about Neal. Evan Neal had that false start, or I think he had a false start, and I think he had a holding call. But I remember he had that holding call for sure, and that almost wiped the game tying touchdown from Daniel Jones running it in. That almost, kind of messed us up. But besides that one holding call, it was curtains. I mean, nobody got pressure. And this isn't me saying Evan Neal has arrived. This is just me saying Evan Neal stepped up and did his job against lesser competition. He stepped up, no pressure from anybody. No pressure from anybody on that Cardinals D line besides Gordak in the first quarter. So we were the better team. We should have beat this team 31-8. We should have done that the entirety of the game. But instead, we needed some confidence. We started off slow, and we had to make it dramatic in the second half. But what a fun way to just to build some of that momentum up and get things going, because Giants fans were down. I mean, we know we were down. This was going to be a tough week going into the 49ers. I mean, I know some people are already going to look at this as a loss because it was a close game, but guys, the New York Giants that we were waiting to see were there in the second half. They were not there in the first half. That's a completely different team. That's a completely different team. So to just talk about individual performances, as I said, Daniel Jones showed off. The interception he had was Saquon Barkley's fault. But let me just pull up his stats. 321 yards from Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, 59 yards receiving. 59 yards rushing from Daniel Jones and a touchdown. No fumbles lost. But like I said, the interception he threw was Saquon Barkley's fault. Waller showed up, as I said, 6 catches, 76 yards. Slayton showed up on a couple third downs, but Daniel Jones was throwing rockets, guys. Other than that, I still need I need something from the pass rush. Dexter Lawrence kind of in the second half kind of took over the line of scrimmage. He kind of took over the line of scrimmage in the second half, and most importantly, the fourth quarter. But we absolutely need Thibodeau, and hopefully Aziz comes back soon. We need them to get pressure because they got no pressure. And these Cardinals, these offensive tackles are not all world tackles. Imagine what they're going to do against Trent Richardson next week. So the Giants did what they were supposed to do. We came out and won this game 31-8 in the second half. We should have won it, like I said, 31-8 in the first and throughout 4 quarters. But I'm not going to be too mad about it. I'm not going to be too mad about it because we got the win. We could have let this continue to snowball and rolled over and allowed Josh Dobbs to come in. I was going to say into the Giants Stadium because there were so many Giants fans there. But we allowed Josh Dobbs. We couldn't allow that dude to beat us. We could not allow that to happen. Absolutely not. So it just the emotion that you saw from the Giants in the first half, the defeated look, the sad look, like we can't get anything done, is exactly what the Cardinals looked like the entire second half. Josh Dobbs looked like he was seeing ghosts. He couldn't do anything. He looked scared. He looked like the moment was too big for him. And that's the pressure that we need to put on people every week. So let's keep this momentum going. Let's keep it going completely. We cannot let our foot off the gas another first half. And let's go on the 49ers and make the best, not the best team, because we know what the best team is. But let's hope we can keep some of this offensive firepower going heading into the 49ers game. So you guys leave your reactions down in the comments for this Giants comeback. I'm not sure if I think this is probably the biggest comeback we've had in a long, long time. So you guys let me know your thoughts down.